What if one of Real Madrid's biggest superstars left the Santiago Bernabeu for the Premier League? It sounds unbelievable, but that's exactly the rumour dominating football headlines. Arsenal are reportedly exploring a sensational move for Brazilian winger Vinícius Jr, while contract negotiations with Real Madrid have stalled. Is this just another transfer rumour? Or could Mikel Arteta really pull off one of the biggest signings in Premier League history? In today's video, we'll break down everything you need to know, from Arsenal's interest, the financial obstacles, Real Madrid's position, and what Vinícius himself might be thinking. Let's dive in.
Real Madrid's contract problem. Vinícius Jr has become one of the faces of modern Real Madrid. Since arriving from Flamengo as a teenager, he's developed into one of the world's most dangerous attackers, helping Real Madrid win multiple major trophies and scoring the winning goal in a Champions League final. But despite his importance to the club, his future suddenly isn't as secure as many expected. The Brazilian now has just 1 year remaining on his current contract. Normally, Real Madrid don't allow key players to enter the final year without clarity over their future. However, negotiations over a new contract have dragged on for months without an agreement. Reports suggest that salary demands have become the biggest obstacle. Vinícius believes he deserves a significant pay rise after establishing himself among the world's elite players. Real Madrid are willing to reward him, but they also have a strict wage structure they don't want to completely break. That disagreement has created uncertainty. And whenever uncertainty appears around a world-class player, Europe's biggest clubs begin paying attention. Why Arsenal are interested.
According to recent reports, Arsenal are exploring the possibility of signing Vinícius if negotiations with Real Madrid completely collapse. It's important to understand that Arsenal haven't submitted an official bid. There are no club-to-club negotiations at this stage. Instead, the Gunners are closely monitoring the situation. After winning the Premier League, Mikel Arteta wants to build a squad capable of dominating both England and Europe. Arsenal have already strengthened several positions, but adding another world-class attacker remains one of their priorities. The club previously admired Rodrigo. They've also been linked with Julian Alvarez and Morgan Rogers during this transfer window. Now, Vinícius has become another name on their shortlist. If there's even a small opportunity to sign one of football's biggest stars, Arsenal want to be ready.
Now let's talk about the biggest challenge: money. And not just the transfer fee, the wages. When Saudi Arabian clubs tried to sign Vinícius a couple of years ago, they reportedly offered him an astonishing €1 billion package over 5 years. Real Madrid were also set to receive more than £300 million in transfer fees. Both the player and the club rejected that incredible offer. While Arsenal wouldn't need to spend anywhere near those numbers today because of Vinícius's contract situation, the financial commitment would still be enormous. Reports suggest Vinícius currently earns between €15 million and €17 million net every year. Because Premier League salaries are taxed differently, Arsenal would likely need to pay him somewhere between £450,000 and £500,000 per week just to match his current earnings. That would instantly make him Arsenal's highest paid player. Bukayo Saka currently sits at the top of Arsenal's wage list, but Vinícius would comfortably surpass him. Some reports claim Arsenal may be willing to reach around £400,000 per week. Even then, it might not be enough. That's why finances remain the biggest hurdle in this potential transfer. What does Real Madrid want? Despite all the speculation, Real Madrid's message has remained very clear. They do not want Vinícius to leave. Club president Florentino Perez is personally involved in contract discussions. The club views Vinícius as one of the faces of Real Madrid's future. He's not simply another talented winger. He's one of the biggest global football stars. His shirt sells worldwide. He's hugely marketable. And he's become one of the club's leaders on and off the pitch. New manager Jose Mourinho also reportedly wants Vinícius to remain central to his plans. Fresh talks between the club and the players' representatives are expected soon. Real Madrid are hopeful an agreement can still be reached before the situation becomes more complicated. The last thing they want is for one of their biggest stars to approach free agency. What does Vinícius want? This might be the most important question. Does Vinícius actually want to leave? Right now, there is very little evidence that he does. There have been no public interviews suggesting unhappiness, no social media hints, no direct comments indicating that he's looking for a new challenge. Instead, everything points toward a player who still enjoys representing Real Madrid. The disagreement appears to be more about contract terms than about leaving the club. That's a very important distinction. Many contract negotiations become difficult before eventually ending with a new agreement. This situation could follow exactly the same pattern. Unless negotiations completely break down, Vinícius staying at Real Madrid still appears to be the most likely outcome. Could Arsenal really pull it off? Never say never in football. Arsenal have become one of Europe's strongest teams under Mikel Arteta. Winning the Premier League has significantly increased their appeal. They now have Champions League football, financial stability, and a squad full of young stars. Signing Vinícius would send a huge message across world football. It would instantly make Arsenal genuine contenders for every major trophy. Imagine an attack featuring Bukayo Saka on one wing and Vinícius Jr on the other. Few defenses would be able to cope. But making dreams become reality requires more than ambition. Real Madrid would first have to accept the possibility of selling. Vinícius would have to decide that leaving Spain is the right move. And Arsenal would need to commit to one of the biggest financial packages in Premier League history. All three conditions would need to happen simultaneously. That's why this remains an extremely difficult transfer to complete. Could Real Madrid already be preparing? One interesting development has caught the attention of many supporters. Real Madrid are reportedly pushing to sign highly rated winger Yan Diomande. Some fans have wondered whether this could be preparation for a possible Vinícius departure. Others believe it's simply part of Real Madrid's long-term strategy of collecting the world's best young talent. At this stage, there is no evidence that Diomande would directly replace Vinícius. Real Madrid regularly invest in elite young players regardless of whether someone is leaving. Still, it's another storyline worth watching as the transfer window continues. Final verdict. So where does this transfer saga stand today? Arsenal's interest appears genuine. Real Madrid remain determined to keep their superstar. Vinícius has shown no clear signs that he wants to leave. Contract negotiations will likely decide everything. If Real Madrid and Vinícius reach an agreement, this story will probably end quickly. But if talks continue to stall, Arsenal, and possibly other European giants, will be watching every development closely. One thing is certain. This could become one of the biggest transfer stories of the summer. What do you think? Should Vinícius stay at Real Madrid and become a club legend? Or would a move to Arsenal create one of the most exciting attacks in football? Share your opinion in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the biggest football transfer news. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.